Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm speaking to you from the world's largest floating office, home to the headquarters of the Global Center on Adaptation, or GCA. From where I sit, it's really very simple. Climate adaptation finance is losing the battle. Our latest flagship report on state and trends in adaptation, prepared with the Climate Policy Initiative, provides the numbers which confirm our fears. The situation is alarming. Think about it. Global adaptation finance is losing ground. It's down to 5% from 7% just 2 years ago. And think about it in the African context. It received just 20% of global adaptation finance flows. At this level of financing, Africa will only mobilize $195 billion by 2035. And how much does Africa need? 8 times more, $1.6 trillion by 2035. And here again, adaptation finance in Africa is losing ground, down 3% from 2 years ago to just 36% of all climate finance. So yes, it is very simple. Everybody must invest more in climate adaptation in Africa as well as globally. And the truth of the matter is that African governments are playing their part, investing almost twice as much from their own budgets than what they get from bilateral development finance institutions. But it cannot be right that African governments are being forced to borrow to pay for adaptation, piling more debt on their budget. What we urgently need are more projects that can attract finance from the private sector and from public financial institutions. And to remedy this deficit, we need country investment plans for adaptation. We need more businesses that provide adaptation solutions. We need more innovations that attract private finance. And we need more adaptation programs at scale. And you know, of course, that in 2021, GCA, the African Development Bank, and the African Union jointly launched the Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program with a simple idea: to show that adaptation creates jobs, to show that adaptation creates prosperity. Since its inception in 2021, the AAAP has increased the climate resilience of nearly 60 million Africans, created more than 700,000 new green jobs, improved the productivity of 13 million farmers, supported 40 private sector enterprises in more than 20 countries. We work with the African Development Bank, with the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund and its Resilient Sustainability Trust, with AFDB, with AFD and with IFAD and many others. We're also working with the CGIAR system to bring its best adaptation science and innovation to Africa's agriculture. We greatly appreciate the generous support of many development partners, including the UK, Norway, Germany, Canada, France, the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, and the Gates Foundation, which has made all of this possible. Thanks to this generous support, in less than 3 years, through the AAAP Upstream Financing Facility, we have influenced $9 billion of investments to ensure adaptation is at the core. The AAAP, with your support, is indisputably the world's premier adaptation program, which is why the Africa Risk Capacity and GCA, with a memorandum of understanding, are moving forward together with a clear vision for disaster risk financing. So this is where we are. We have come a long way in a short time, but time is not on our side. And looking to the future, this roundtable is proposing a Pan-African climate task force as well as disaster risk coordination platform. We as GCA, we're in a unique position of bringing to the task force and these platforms our unrivaled expertise, not just in technical assistance, but through our global reach, leveraging international connections to advocate for greater, more reliable climate financing for Africa. Because results, colleagues, breed success and vice versa. And finally, never forget this: Africa is open for business. By 2050, 1 in 4 of us, a quarter of the world's population, will be African. Africa is the biggest emerging market. Think of Southeast Asia 20 years ago. That is Africa today. And most striking of all, while venture capital flows decreased by 30% globally, last year in Africa they actually increased by 8%. So let me close here with my best wishes to your endeavors and my pledge that you will always have GCA rooting and supporting Africa, because with that, investing in adaptation, Africa is unstoppable. I thank you.